thought I'd show you just how to do a Christmas bauble. You know, just how to do an ornament if you want to hang it on the tree, and we'll go to town with a few of the extra bits and pieces we've got on the show. And you see I've done these two pink and these two purple. So I should have put a piece of pink and a piece of purple on each one, but we've got them. You get the idea, right? Then, Derek, I've been over and raided your embossing folders.
I know. I noticed my stack suddenly got too smaller.
Oh, now here's the thing, right? So if you're wanting to do, watch what we can do. We can pop this in here, and I can just take the embossing up to the edge of here. Now, when you're embossing in your Gemini Mini, if you've got a regular folder, you need to add in your purple shim. So your purple shim then makes it exactly the right thickness, can you see, for you to go through there and do a little bit of embossing on it, and that will give me just that nice snowflake emboss on there. Can you see? Just about see. I think you might see it a little bit easier to the close-up. Yes, you'll see it a lot more when I put a bit of ink on it. So when we're doing a regular emboss like this one here, you're going to just, I'm taking it right up to the edge, and then that's just going to come through like this, and we're going to take it through the machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that first, these first two, and then just use a little bit of ink on these. So I've got a bit of, I think a bit of plum jam would be lovely with this. So there's two side pieces. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that lovely snowflake one on the, I've got this folder at home, I absolutely love it. I'm going to use this one on these two pieces. And again, I'm going to pop that in place just up to the edge. I mean, it doesn't really, if you really wanted them snowflakes on, you see this is going to get covered over. Because that's 3D, Derek, we don't need to add the shim. So you just go straight through. If it's a 3D embossing folder, look, I've popped that out again. 3D embossing folder, you just send it straight through as it is, and that will give us the lovely 3D emboss on here. So I'm going to do that with both those pieces, and then really bring it to life a little bit with a bit of gilding wax on there too.
And you never need much of an excuse to get the gilding wax out, especially with Christmas projects, because it's all golds and silvers, isn't it?
Yes.
So you just want as much, you know, you just want as much of that going on as you possibly can. And imagine actually when you add the gilding wax to a project like this, if you are cutting a little window out and putting one of those little battery flickering lights inside it, that's just going to enhance that even more. Oh, it would look fabulous. Do you know, and the time to do it, oh, you could make these whole boxes out of acetate. I was going to say the time to do it would be when you're doing, would be now, before you stick it together. That's the time where I would say add a little bit of your, you know, if you want to cut a window out of here. So all I've done there, Derek, is I've had a little bit of colour first of all in the background, and then my gilding wax onto the front. And you can see there just how, now that doesn't that look lovely? And if a great tip for you with gilding wax, Derek, because you're quite new, you might not know this yet, right? Always be gentle and build up the gilding wax. Don't go too heavy too quickly. Yeah. And then if you want to give it an extra bit of a shine, what you can do is buff it. So it's, think of it like shoe polish. So just give it a bit of a buff like this, and can you see how it brings off like the like if you're polishing your shoes? You get that little bit of a this sort of finish on there. It takes that out and leaves you with just the metallic effect on here. So there's what I've done to the outside pieces, and what I'm going to do is just assemble that box together like you've seen me do with all the other ones. So what I've done is I just used a couple of little bits of glitter card. So here we go. If we're doing the ornament, can you see we've got our little bits of glitter card just like you saw me cut out, and what you do is we're going to stick them together, but before we stick this second one shut, we're going to add in the little ornament bit that you hold, right? So you can cut out these two little circles, right? And then just before I close it, I'm going to make sure they're lined up. Can you see they're not quite? So because you've got that manoeuvrability time, I'm going to just manoeuvre these two into place. Yep. And then we can open that back up and just make sure they're really well stuck down. So I'm just going to give that a couple of seconds for it to stick down. All right, there we go. So are they still lined up? Yes, they are. And then you can just come, oh look,
be ever so gentle with them, and patience is a virtue. You're obviously not going to be live on TV, therefore you're not going to be rushing in the same way that I am. But can you see how I've got those stuck down? And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to feed these through here, Derek, and tie them behind. So this was Nandia's idea, wasn't it, this one?
Yes, it was, yeah.
Brilliant idea, Nandia, for closing this off. I hadn't even thought of this myself. And I'm just going to finish that off on there. And then I'm going to put this one on the top here. Actually, I quite like it. Quite like it on there like that. Yes. So it's going to look quite nice on there, but that is still going to lift off. So if, just when that settles, that's going to still lift off. And I think there's how you would do it as a lovely little Christmas ornament.